Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we'll be reviewing day two of the third test match in Sydney between Australia and India. A really good comeback from India. I mean, we thought like at one stage Australia had could have scored 450 or 500 with Labuschagne and Smith batting. But yeah, they started off the day really well, Australia. And then after that, India came back, picked up the wickets, some really good bowling, I think some good field placements as well. And I think India showed a lot of heart. I was expecting at least minimum 400, but 330, it could have been even less. It could have been under 300 at one stage. But then, of course, the Australian tail does wag. But yeah, I have with me my brother Yusuf Ismail. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. And yeah, I agree with your analysis basically. Yeah, Australia started the day strong in a good position with Labuschagne and the Steve Smith, continuing where they left off. Jadeja was the key man who came in and broke that partnership. And from there, India did well to reduce Australia to, I think, six down or seven down for 250 odd or almost 260. But then I don't know if Australia's tail wags or India is really poor at removing the tail because Smith just kept on going. He had enough support with Stark, and he scored a deserved 100, and he's answered all his critics. And you can see from his reaction after getting the 100 how much it meant to him. So I think considering that, India did well to peg them back from two down. They got them to six down in no short order, and that was thanks to Jadeja and Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, I
Class.
mean, yeah, 100%. If you look at the scorecard, if you can get that up, I think for Australia, it was only Smith and Labuschagne. Apart from that, their middle order failed again. Look at that: Matthew Wade, Green, and Payne. I think even they were expecting probably at least 40s and 50s from at least two of them, and they failed that because it was 400 was on the cards, and
Yeah.
the full advantage should have been with Australia. But again, the middle order. I think for Wade, it was just what do you
It
call
was
it?
disappointing. It was a very rash shot.
Yeah,
Very rash cricket, I think.
yeah, impatience. Like what do you call? Like he was trying to bat like a T20, and all the commentators were saying like he came down the track, but when it's not at the pitch of it, you don't need to go for it. It's not a T20 game. You're not looking for boundaries every ball. So if you're not at the pitch of the ball, then just defend it, even if you come down the track. But yeah, he needs to learn a lot. He has the shots. We all know that, but he just needs to build patience. That's all. Like that's all he
Yeah,
does. He needs
yeah.
to build patience. Um, he got frustrated because he hit three cracking sweeps, and all three of them hit Vihari at short leg. So he
Yeah,
virtually blocked three boundaries, right? And I mean,
and he was frustrated.
yeah, and credit to Vihari for standing there. Like, it's a very difficult position, and he kept getting hit. But that frustrated the batsman. So, like, I was thinking that it's like an assist for Vihari because, yeah, he couldn't do much. He's just turning his back and kept hitting him. He took the body blows. That
Mental assist. It was a mental assist.
yeah, and he forced Wade into a big shot, and it was his downfall. And then I think, just a word on Steve Smith. I think you're correct. Like he proved his critics wrong. I felt that MCG that's what was missing. I think that's why Australia lost the game because he couldn't contribute. I'm not saying he has to score 100, but even if
Yeah.
he makes 40 and 50, those are very useful runs, and it's very difficult to get him out once he's set. For Smith, if you have to get him out, you have to get him out under 10, under 15. Um, Once he's set, he barely gives you any chances. Again, it was a chanceless innings. I think from ball
He
one,
gave no chances and he got run out. It wasn't even bowled or caught. He wasn't beaten by the bowler. He was
yeah,
even playing near the end of his innings. He was like just shuffling more than he does. He was like swatting the ball. And, I think yesterday Bumrah, they showed in the highlights like Bumrah was making like a face. He's like, oh, like that, right? He was kind of mocking Smith and the way he shuffles and stuff. But like, that's how he is. And he's just got that crazy hand eye coordination, right? It's like a bit like Virender Sehwag. Sehwag didn't move his feet at all. He was the opposite, but his hand-eye coordination with the bat was fantastic. So Smith, he looked so awkward some of the shots, but credit to him. Like some of them were beautiful. The cover drive straight down the ground. He played proper cricketing shots too during the build-up. Obviously, he was at the end. He was just trying to get runs. He was like slicing it over third man and stuff. But you can't complain. It was you cannot say that he was lucky at all for sure.
yeah, and Labuschagne, I think he also deserved 100. He batted beautifully, but then it's just out of nowhere the wicket came. Credit to Jadeja, 4 wickets again. Like we've been praising him all year, like
Yeah.
for the last year or so. In Test cricket, he's just unbelievable. Like he provided with the bat last game, and now with the ball, 4 wickets on a first 2-day wicket at the SCG, a flat track. I think credit to him. He doesn't turn the ball that much anyway, and there's not much assistance. But I think the way he's so accurate and he varies his pace. I think that's what it is. Like he
Yeah.
bowls one
And he
quicker,
got
one a bit
bounced to
slower.
get Labuschagne. Now he got some extra bounce.
Yeah, he
Right?
got some extra bounce, and I think he bowled a bit fuller. He was bowling a bit short, and he was getting hit, but then he bowled it a bit fuller. So that once he got the length right, I think it helped him a lot. But he was very accurate, Jadeja. So he's always at you at the stump. So I think that helps a lot. Uh, and he cleaned up like like Cummins and Lyon as well by just pulling full and straight. So
Yeah.
I think credit to Jadeja, and that throw was unbelievable. It reminded me of Martin Guptill in the World Cup semi-final. To get Steve Smith out, Jadeja, he came in and just directed, and I think that saved 20-30 runs because the way Smith was going, even though Hazel was at the other end, but he was just maneuvering the field so well, milking the runs. I think he could have got to 150, but that throw just ended the innings. It was unbelievable fielding from Jadeja. There's nothing this guy can't do, and right now he's probably one of the most popular cricketers because he can provide with the bat, ball.
He's come back. He's come back like with a bang in the last year. Like ever since the Manjrekar incident, Manjrekar's off commentary and he's back in the team. So it's like he took it so personally.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I'm a type of guy like everyone's entitled to their opinion. I might not agree with it, but he's entitled. But again, Manjrekar on commentary when the day started, he's like, I don't know why they're starting with Jadeja. They should start with Ashwin because Smith and Labuschagne have a problem against him. So I don't know why Jadeja's at the ball. As soon as he said that, he picked up like the 2-3 wickets. So I don't know what it is. I think the more Manjrekar says something, the more Jadeja performs. So hope that continues. But yeah, I think he was well supported by Bumrah. Bumrah bowled really well. The wickets of I think the ball to Payne was unbelievable. The way it came in,
straight through the gate.
Excellent delivery. Like to see Indian fast bowlers bowl like that after watching like the 90s and stuff where there wasn't as much pace. They weren't beating the bat, but now like literally beating the bat with pace and swing and seam off the pitch. I think it's a good sight to watch. And yeah, I think Bumrah was brilliant again.
An overall discussion on the Indian bowling, I think Bumrah's the way he got Green and Payne out, it's a testament to his class and how much India is probably missing Mohammad Shami and Ishant Sharma. Because again, Mohammad Siraj, I think he deserves to be in the team. He's a good backup bowler, but he's not first change. He's not an opening bowler. I don't think he's of that caliber, and he doesn't have the experience.
I mean, he can be. It's just that he's inexperienced.
Yeah, I'm saying right now. I think Siraj, he has turned his career around too, and he's in the right direction. But right now, he's not good enough, or he doesn't have the experience to open the bowling, right? And Saini also on debut, he took 2 wickets, but he was very expensive. He gave away 5 runs and over, right, in a test match. So, and I think you had mentioned it to me offline that it seemed like he was very ordinary, even though he was bowling at pace. The batsman had no issues. He wasn't troubling the batsman that much.
The biggest problem with Saini is he's either too short or too full. He needs to find that length, that Hazelwood type length, because he's fast. I saw one ball he bowled 146.9, like almost 147 clicks. So he has the pace. So there is something there. And I think Mitchell Starc hit him a bit, but he bowled those bouncers, and you could see like Starc wasn't the most comfortable, even though he hit him. And at the end he fell to Saini. So there is something there. Like it's unfortunate. He's actually like the 5th or 6th option because there's no Shami, there's no Umesh, there's no Ishant. And then, Siraj came in, but there's still Umesh there. But then Umesh got injured, so then Saini came in. So I think to get 2 young bowlers in, it's hard luck. You can't really do much about it. But to be very honest with you, I think Siraj stepped up. If you look at those figures,
overall, yes. Like 2.7, second best run rate.
It's no less than a Umesh or anything like that. He's bowled brilliantly.
He bowled better than Umesh.
But I think that the experience, so far it's been like that. But of course, definitely, if you had Shami or Ishant, it would have been a different ball game. So that's why I actually this performance I rated really high, because at one stage it's 450, but with this bowling lineup, inexperienced, you got them all out. I think a lot of credit.
And Ashwin didn't contribute. No wickets for Ashwin, right?
Yeah,
the hero of the first 2 matches. So
yeah, I think credit to Jadeja, Bumrah, and then even I think Siraj kept he kept it tight at one end. So it gave Bumrah some, something to lean back on. And yeah, Saini, I think he was very expensive. Like I said, a bit too short, a bit too full. He needs to get that line right, and he has the pace. So I think there's a lot of work to do, but if he works on it, I think he has potential. But right now, like I said, it's India are missing 3-4 key bowlers, so it's a bit unlucky in that respect. But I think they're making the most out of it. It's not like they're giving up. So. Yeah,
But
I
I
think.
feel if Saini doesn't perform in the second innings, or if he's still as expensive, I'm just being biased here, but I think Natarajan should get a chance in the fourth test, especially if India win this test. I don't know. He's just on fire on all formats, man, performing brilliantly. He's got that Siraj vibe in the limited overs. Like, you know, Siraj came in the test team, took 5 wickets in the last match. He was bowling well, tail up. You know, Natarajan was like that in the limited over series, right?
Yeah.
So it might be worth, if India win this and Saini does not take any wickets or he's expensive again. I know it's tough and it's not correct for me to just throw out that, oh, he should be dropped, he should be brought in, but no, give Natarajan a chance to see what he can do in the longer format, just to see if he's worth having in the squad in the future. If Mohammad Shami and Ishant Sharma come back into a future series.
Yeah, fair enough. Like you could try. I honestly like. I also like Natarajan, but I understood why they picked Saini because he was already in the squad. Natarajan and Shardul
Yeah,
Thakur were brought into the squad after the injury, so if
yeah,
they've backed him already, Saini they need to give him a shot. And I
yeah.
understand that. Yes, he got hit and everything, but I understand why he played. But yeah, if it doesn't work out, then you can try somebody else. But then again, that's what it is, right? This is like you couldn't have prepared exactly for this because you wouldn't know that 3 of your frontline bowlers will be injured. So,
100%.
of
I don't
course, you do
disagree. I
prepare
was
for
just
injury and everything, but yeah, I think suddenly this happened, and right now they're making the most of it. But yeah, of course, he did get hit, so there is. There will be talk if India lose this game. There will be talk about other bowlers coming in his place. But yeah, I think if you that wraps up India's innings. If you go, Australia's innings. If you go up India's innings, I think they started beautifully. They put Australia on the back
brilliant
foot.
start.
Yeah, put Australia on the back foot. Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, man. Shubman Gill looks unbelievable. His shot selection and the way he plays his shots is like, he's caressing the ball. It looks like he's about to hit it, and then suddenly like that Midas touch, like, it looks beautiful to watch. I think he's
He
very
bats like
elegant.
a left-hander. He
Yeah,
bats like a left-hander.
he's very elegant. I think his defense is also solid. But yeah, I think he will learn the lapse of concentration, got the edge, really good bowling from Cummins, an excellent catch from Green. I was more disappointed with Rohit Sharma because he was looking unbelievable. I think, for me, Rohit Sharma, the main thing I wanted to see is how he's going to play the new ball. Yes, the pitch
Yeah.
was really good and everything, but still Mitchell Starc coming in, hint of swing, it can bother any batsman, especially if you've come out from 2 weeks of hard quarantine. But I think he did all the hard work, did everything. He played out the new ball. He consumed good deliveries. Then he hit line for a 6. He hit that pull for
Down
a
the
4.
track.
Yeah, and then he hit a pull for a 4. He was looking solid, and once you do all the hard work, it was a poor shot. It wasn't like he wasn't beaten. He was nothing. Like it was a poor. It was a slower delivery from Hazelwood. He pushed at it and caught and bowled. I think he'll be very disappointed. Yes, I'm not criticizing him in that way. I think he looked really good, but it's just a poor shot. Like you have to say that in these kind of situations, if Rohit Sharma stood there till the end of day's play and was batting today, it would have been a different ball game altogether.
Yeah, I agree. And I think India provided their biggest stand outside of India in 10 years or something like that. It was like a very good, solid performance by the openers. They set up a platform. Shubman Gill, like some of his shots, man, like I think there's one shot where he punched it through extra cover on the back foot. It felt like he could have cut it, but it was like a half cut, half drive. It was like a beautiful shot. And yeah, he's young, very young, but he's taken his opportunity now. I think there's no way back for Prithvi Shaw in this current squad right now. Based on his performance, like Shubman Gill has cemented himself. Like he didn't even score a 50 in the first innings, and the Australian commentators were praising the way he was playing and his swagger and his shot selection, right? So now he's got consistent starts. Like he's doing his job. Like he's not expected to come into this team and score hundreds off the bat because he's just debuted and stuff like that. But like he's elegant. He again lapse of concentration. He bowled it a bit wide, and he went free-fended at it. He should have left it, but unlucky. It happens, and you learn from it. But I think he's a very fast learner, and as a joke, I'll say he has a very good mentor in Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah, no, I
But
think
he'll be one for the future for sure. And
yeah,
Sharma, and just on Rohit Sharma, I feel like like the shots he played were like he was playing a 1 day. but he didn't look like it was too fast for a test match. He was playing the right shots, but
Yeah, look at it. Look at his
that's
strike
a
rate,
fun
33.
situation.
So that means he was playing like a proper test innings, but he had that shot in him. And I think if he batted on, the reason why I keep saying that is because he has a boundary in him, and that boundary always plays with the bowler. Like Nathan Lyon bowls the same same line. And once he hit him for six, he became wayward again, and then even Shubman Gill took advantage of that. So a batsman like him who can be patient but then can change gears, I think is very important. Because you saw like when they both got out, Pujara and Rahane got their blanket, they got their pillow, they came to the pitch, and it was a different ball game altogether. The pitch didn't look as flat; it was uneven bounce. And that's the thing, like when you go into your shell, like I understood why they went into the shell. They didn't want to lose further wickets. But when you go into the shell, there's only one ball which has your name on it, and that's it. So I think they did their job for the second day's play, but I think third day they need to be a bit more aggressive because you need runs. In this, you're not going to just survive because yes, there is a bit of an even bounce, there's a bit of turn, but it's not deteriorating yet. But the fourth innings, it will be difficult to bat on. But right now, it's not that hard to bat on. So I think they still need to go for runs. They can't just. I think they did their job in consolidating, and now they need to be a bit aggressive. Pujara, especially, like I understand like his concept, but he needs to rotate the strike. He needs to get a few boundaries here and there just to take the pressure off the other batsmen. Because if he consumes that many balls and then gets out like on 20, then there's no point. If you're going to consume 100 balls, you need to score 100 like later on. Like, you know, if you're going to score, like he's 9 of 53. So if he's like 20 of 100 and then he gets out, then there's no point. He needs to bat on. So I think that's what it is. And I think Rahane will be more aggressive because he's been like that throughout. But you don't want to put so much pressure on him that he plays a false shot. So I think Pujara doesn't have to hit a boundary every ball, but just show some intent, rotate the strike, get the runs flowing. If they bat out the first half an hour and start getting the runs flowing, and then they can make small targets, 150, 200, and then bat on like that. Because right now, I feel that Australia have the advantage. They have the runs on the board. Those 2 wickets will give them the advantage. But India is still in the game thanks to their bowling comeback and the start they got with the openers. But yes, it's I think with the pitch and what's going to happen on the 4th, 5th day, I think Australia do have an advantage. So India will need to try to get as close as they can to the target.
I think again, the thing with Pujara is like in recent history, I don't know, maybe like I'm missing or forgetting key things, but he seems too much intent on blunting the attack. It's like, 50 of 200 balls. It's an exaggeration, but like he needs to show more intent. Like even Rahul Dravid, who played the same role, Dravid was not this slow. Like, yes, he had the capability, but then Dravid had the cover drive in him. He had the cut shot in him. And, even his, big memorable innings in Australia, like, his double 100 and stuff, it wasn't of like 600 balls. It was like he would ramp up. And I just feel like Pujara doesn't have those, shots. Like Rahane can play a similar role to Pujara, but then he also has the big shots. He can throw out the extra cover drive for 6. He can pull the ball. That innings at Lords where he scored 100, where he said it was his best innings. It's like he was defensive, but he has the counter-attacking. Pujara doesn't seem to have the counter-attacking, so he needs someone to put the pressure off him. It feels like that. So he needs to become more aggressive in his game.
The thing is, he pulls it out really late. He like the counter-attacking and everything, he gets it when he's like on 70, 60, then he starts hitting the boundaries. I think more than the boundaries, he just needs to work the single. That's what he's not doing. Rahul Dravid used to work the single. Yeah. You get 1 run and over, but get that 1 run. He played like, look at the maidens column: 4 for Stark, 5 for Hazelwood, 6 for Cummins, and 7 for Lyon.
That's a lot.
I think, yeah, and yes, so the openers played a few maidens here and there, but I think the majority came when those 2 were at the crease. So that's what they need to work on. I understood why they shut up shop and they closed the shutters early yesterday because they didn't want to lose further wickets. Yeah. But now I think day 3, they shouldn't be that conservative because, like I said, 1 ball has your name on it. So you should be aggressive. And that's the only way you're going to get to that score. You're not going to get there by just sitting at the crease. So, even though it's test cricket and there's no harm in just like, blocking balls and stuff. But I think with the team situation, the match situation right now, India require a few runs. And I think that's what they need to do. Work the singles, try to get the scoreboard ticking. And then you have the likes of Punt and stuff who will come, who are the polar opposite. They're not gonna defend at all. So
Jadeja and Punt can turn it up. Yeah, if they have enough, if they build a platform, let's say it's 200 for 2, and then you lose a wicket, and then it's like 270 for 3. Like if you hit 300, and then Punt and Jadeja come in, they can take it to 500 very quickly. So
Yeah,
that
they
should be
can.
the
And
goal,
but the thing is,
basically.
Jadeja's actually become that test batsman where he's found that aggression and patience kind of balance. But you know what
Yeah.
I said about Pujara, I apply that to Punt, but the opposite. So he shouldn't hit every ball and just like he should be a bit more watchful because he's gonna get a boundary every 2-3 overs. That's how he bats. But when it's like a bit short outside, why don't take unnecessary risks? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
definitely.
Yeah, I think that wraps up
What
the.
do you think is going to happen tomorrow? What's your prediction, I guess? Do you have any, based on what you've seen, do you think it's going to be a run fest, or do you see a collapse for India?
I mean, the Australian bowling is really good, so I think Australia probably will be on top because yes, the wicket is deteriorating, but don't get me wrong, it's not like that those Indian pitches where it's like a spin ball or anything like that. The fourth innings is going to be more difficult. Right now, it's still the second inning, so it's still a really good pitch to bat on. Day three, if the sun is out, even better. But I still feel that it's a good pitch. You saw Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill bat. It wasn't there weren't
Yeah,
that many
very
demons
very
in it.
fluent.
Yeah, it's just that when they went into their shell, Rahane and Pujara, there was a couple of balls went up and down. But if you play your shots and stuff, I think there is value for your runs on this pitch, and it's a really good pitch to bat on. It's the best pitch right now compared to MCG and Adelaide. So I think if they can, show some intent and bat on, get a good
Yeah,
partnership going, that'll put pressure on
yeah.
Australia. But yeah, I still feel Australia are still on top, but hoping for a Lakshman Dravid kind of partnership from Pujara and Rahane. That's all I can say, and take them close to the score.
Come on, bro. That's a bit of a stretch to compare them.
No, I didn't say the Dravid Lakshman. I said
I know, I
that
know.
type of partnership.
I know. But I think if anyone, Rane again has the opportunity to step up and he can score 100 again. He's got the potential to do it for sure.
Yeah, I think then you have the likes of Vihari, Pant, and Jadeja. They will also need to step up, and that's it. But the thing is, one thing I will say, the Australian bowling is relentless, so they'll need to. And I think the more they're out there, they'll get tired. So I think that's what they need to do. That's a good thing about Pujara if he can blunt it. But yes, if he can rotate the strike, get the runs, if you can put pressure back on Australia, maybe go the first session wicketless or something like that. That will put a lot of pressure on the Australian bowlers, and then they'll try to do things different, and they will leak runs. When they're under pressure, they will
Yep,
leak runs. But if you let them bowl at you,
definitely.
then they'll hunt in packs. So I think Lyon again is going to be the bowler to watch out for, with Cummins and Hazelwood and Stark also, like they will be at you. But I think Lyon will be the bowler to watch out for.
Yep, sounds good, bro. I think tomorrow again, it all depends on the first hour, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think session by session, hour by hour, that's how it'll go. But thank you so much for joining me. It's going to be another absorbing day of Test cricket. It's been a really good series so far, a really good Test match so far, and hope to see you
Yep.
soon.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.